now going to the two lagunas that start with an M, Miñiques or something like that. This was built in 1740. This is the old church. There is a new church. Don't know that I see a difference between them. One's larger. The thatch roof might be the main difference, but in an area that rains twice a year for 15-20 minutes. You get a little bit of an idea of how these roofs are done. They actually put a lathing in here like this to hold the mud, and the mud is impregnated with the straw, or whatever that material is, which then overlays it as pure straw at the top. Here is growing, I think, squash and corn, and I don't know what this other plant is here. Notice the buttresses here, as well as the seating, if you will. I'm sure it's the structural design. See all around us the terracing. Pretty much abandoned, but not to the lakeport. It's interesting that these towers are separate from the church itself. That water is coming down from along this pipe, which is irrigation pipe, and the irrigation channel is coming down from the mountains. Okay, these is the first of the two lagoons. We'll walk to the other one. I'll pan around. We're at 4,200 feet, meters, which is about 12.6 in feet. Caution to go slow. This is about 5,800 meters in height. He estimates it to be just about 7 meters, just short of a mile. And it's interesting that that long line we see is actually a... Now, according to the guide, what's unique about this Miscanti lagoon today is that it's absolutely without ripple. So that as I pan across, like right in that area, we're getting a real pure reflection of the mountain in the sky. Usually there's some kind of wind.
No, we'll get a better view.
And if I continue to pan, and is the other lagoon that we'll walk to. It's easy right now to appreciate the value of this absolutely smooth lagoon. As you can see, the mirroring. Just look at this high altitude ecology here. We recognize that green moss, although it's far less vibrant than it was. It's this little plant here down the lower corner. The brush grass, they call it gama something or other, Chile gama or something like that. And I think that may be, no, I don't think so. That's some kind of a cactus there in the upper right, lower left. I don't know what that is. This looks like that grass that I found that was very, very thin, very sharp, but I don't think it is. A large, well-made corral, probably seasonally used. This lagoon is called Miñiques, the smaller of the two brothers, who were so sad that they shed tears sufficient to fill these basins. And so they live in spirit, side by side at this lagoon. What's that little gray bird there? Can you see him right on the wall?
Oh, yeah. ¿Y ese pájaro qué es lo que?
Our guide says that now that the wind is up and we no longer have that extremely rare flat surface, and we are also in the midst of a day that has clouds, one of the only 10 days in theory that have clouds up here, the colorations have changed and it's become much darker, and I'll focus on the area that to me looks like it's... I just want to get some of that structure.
Yeah, if anybody at any moment wants us to stop for a picture, you just say photo, 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 and we'll stop. But it has to be 3 times.
Yeah, then I'll tell 10. Yeah.
These are houses that would have been built, these are replicas of houses on the original foundations of houses built 6,000 years ago, when this canyon was occupied. These caves were dwellings approximately 8,000 years ago that once they ceased to be used as dwellings were used as storage places. You'll notice the holes in the wall. He didn't comment on those. But they look extremely like, there's another one. I'll pan through here quickly. Here. It's extremely like what I saw in Colorado, I think it was, on the way down. Those held posts that came out horizontally. Notice another one there, to create simple dwellings on the ground. And again, you look at the 2 square holes there, they would have held posts coming out to provide a living space out in front here. There's a third one over there. You look inside the cave, not much, but then remember that most of the living probably took place outside here underneath these square devices. Petroglyphs way up on top. I can't see them here with my glasses on. Presumably one of them is a guanaco being tamed, and there should be another one up there of guanaco. And presumably that photo, sure, that's petroglyph shows a man or person with the guanaco, and it shows a woman. That's the long vertical lines at the bottom, which represent her skirt, and theoretically showing the other person that they
usually are in sacred places, places of ceremony, places of festival.
Huh.
And this was a sacred place because there's life here. Now, there's a blue mark on the stone. Under the blue mark is a hunter. That can be at the most 13,000 years. Now you can see that the scratches on this one is a lot darker than the scratches over there, because it's a lot older than the other petroglyphs.
He didn't mention this, but those scratches look suspicious.
Seed. There is an alcohol produced with the algarrobo seed. The alcohol is called aloha, and it's done in 4 or 5 days. You just grab a bunch of these broken up seeds, put it in a pail of water, and you leave it there for 4 or 5 days, and then you grab a cup and you drink it. Aloha. Yeah.
Valle de Hair is unique because it's the only canyon around here that has fresh, clean water. It doesn't have arsenic and other kinds of... This is a quince tree.
On the bottom? Got fur on it?
This is the canyon. It's pretty. And obviously the little waterway contained here with the rocks. And looked like people lived here. I don't know if they still do. These are exotic invasive plants that can only be burned out. They can't be cut. This church was built in 1540. Doors original, apparently the outside's original, apparently the ceiling's original. Burro. The timbers were originally held together with animal skins. It's obvious they're using bolts now, or it's been bolted or whatever. Notice the ceiling made out of cactus and made out of the bamboo that apparently grows in this area. And the bell tower separated from the church again. Presumably the bells are hung by leather also. Notice these wooden hinges and the wood held together with animal skin. The black flag is a symbol of protest against the lithium companies who, because they're taking so much water from the mountains to use in their lithium process. On the other hand, and this is the contradiction, and this is after the fact that they've been awarded that water, so they already have the water and the rights to it. But the irony is, it's that same company that provided these people with water from the mountains with an irrigation system that they were unwilling to build, and also provides them with electricity, which they were unwilling to underwrite or be from that one. And then new high-rises, apartments are off